Welcome to day 3 of our Belfast adventure. Today we are going on a day trip to the Giant's Causeway. Got a few stops along the way, some interesting castles and some hidden gems. This one's not to be missed. On day 3 we decided on something a little bit different. A road trip to the Giant's Causeway with some beautiful spots along the way. We left City Hall and headed up Northern Ireland's stunning Antrim coast, arriving at our first stop, Carrickfergus Castle. Carrickfergus was built in 1177 by John de Courcy. The castle changed many hands over the years between the Normans, Scots, Irish and French. This visit was discounted as part of our tour and we only had to pay £4.50. We got 40 minutes to explore the castle and surrounding area. The castle itself is in fantastic condition and offers stunning views of Carrickfergus. On reflection, I think we could have done with a bit more time here to explore the castle. It's certainly one that can impress me, and it would be definitely one to go back to. Leaving Carrickfergus, we headed up the Antrim coast. What stunning views did we get? Part of the tour does incorporate Game of Thrones locations, which we were able to kind of see. The driver was really good and told us many interesting facts and stories along the way. This stunning coastline is definitely up there with one of my favourite drives. I still prefer the southwest coast of Scotland drive, but that's my personal favourite. An interesting place that we drove past was the Vanishing Lake. There are only 8 of these in the world. It's a lake that unplugs itself when the water gets too high. The next stop was Carrickfergus Rope Bridge, which is a rope bridge across the islands. We didn't get to go on the bridge itself, but we did get a nice kind of viewpoint of it. We also got to see stunning views of Rathkin Island. We then got to have a lunch stop at the Dark Hedges Hotel. This wasn't included in the tour. You had to pay an extra £13.50 for the buffet. However, we just had a packed lunch. The Dark Hedges was another interesting Game of Thrones location. This is a kind of set of trees that the way they are grown leads to kind of some nice kind of views. However, due to the recent storm, a few of these trees have been blown down, so the effect wasn't as good as it could have been. After lunch we headed over to Dunluce Castle. This was in complete contrast to Carrickfergus Castle, as Dunluce is a ruin. However, some of the views from this location were absolutely stunning. Again, this castle wasn't included in the tour price, however it was only £4.50 entry and you got roughly 30 minutes to explore. There has been a castle here since the 13th century. Perched on the cliffside, this castle is simply breathtaking. I wish we could have stayed here longer, however it was soon time for us to go to the main event, the Giant's Causeway. Arriving at the Giant's Causeway, we parked at the car park. It was a 20-minute walk down to the actual causeway itself. However, you could take the shuttle bus, which only costs £1. Known as one of the 8 wonders of the world, looking at this location and scenery, you can definitely tell why. Officially to have been created over millions and millions of years by rock formations, I do prefer the true story. The true version tells of the giant Fionn MacCumhaill, who was always getting into scrapes with his Scottish rival Ben and Donna. One day Fionn MacCumhaill decided to seek out Ben and Donna. However, giants couldn't swim, so he had to create a path along the Irish Sea over to Scotland. As Fionn crossed the path, he caught a glimpse of his rival and realised that Ben and Donna was much bigger and too powerful for Fionn. Fionn ran back across the path back to his home, and Finn's wife Una hatched a plan. She dressed Fionn up as a baby and tucked him into the cot. Ben and Donna, noticing this new pathway, decided to seek out Fionn. And when Ben and Donna arrived at Finn's house, Fionn was not there. Una welcomed him and explained that he wasn't in. Una showed him the baby. Ben and Donna soon fought. A baby that big would mean his father would be enormous and much too powerful. Terrified, Ben and Donna fled back, tearing up the causeway, and now all that is left is the formations here and the ones found on the Isle of Stafford in Scotland. Fact or fiction? I'll let you decide. However, the formations do look a bit too perfect to be done naturally. This was a real highlight of our trip. This place was absolutely stunning and breathtaking. The views around the coast, absolutely amazing. Overall, we got to spend about 2 hours here. Definitely worth the travel. Definitely one that I would like to go back again to. Well, I think you'll agree. Need a pint after that. I'm absolutely knackered. Just been at the Giant's Causeway. What an experience. 8th wonder of the world. Definitely one you've got to see. I'm looking forward to this. Leaving the Causeway takes about an hour and a half down the motorway back into Belfast city centre. Arriving at Belfast city centre about 6 o'clock. It was such a nice night, so we decided to do a bit of sightseeing. First stop was the Leaning Clock, then it was over to the fish sculpture. The city is such a nice city to just walk about in. There's so much to see and some interesting architecture. Dinner for tonight was the Rusty Saddle, which offered quite a few kind of the pub classics. It was really nice, very big portions. We were definitely full up after this. We finished our night off at the Duke of York. This was one of Belfast's most recommended pubs, and it did not disappoint. It had great atmosphere, great pints, and live music. We had such a great night here. It would be definitely one to come back to. If you're ever in Belfast, this is one that you need to try. Great atmosphere, great pints. Thank you all for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for part 4.